Hello. If you remember, we are extending our animal class to allow for a dog class. And as we're developing the constructor for our dog class, we realized that several of our properties in our animal are not exposed to our dog class by our animal class. So we have just returned to our animal class and we're taking a look. And if we go back, we decided that we were going to expose the name as a property, but we did not expose any other variables. Now I'm going to go ahead and expose the gender and color, but I want to set this up to where only our derived classes can change those. So I'm going to make them protected. So a protected string, char for gender, and I'll do my get. Gender, what am I doing? I'm copying, huh? And I'll do my set. Sometimes IntelliSense can be a real pain, huh? Okay, so that out here. And let's get this all fixed. There's what I did. Those crazy semicolons, huh? All right, I'm going to clean this up because it did not auto do it for me. Let me try one more. Closing curly bracket. There we go. IntelliSense cleaned that all up for me. So now I've exposed my gender as a protected variable. And remember, a protected variable is one that's available to derived classes, but it's not available to external classes. Now I want to do the same thing with my color. I will select it and right click and choose quick actions, and I will encapsulate this field and still use property, and then I'm going to go to that code that was so nicely generated for me and change it from public to protected. Now in our animal dog class, we should be able to override these variables with our constructor. So I've got my name, my gender, and I need my color. And sure enough, there are my protected variables available to this derived class to override. So now I've developed a constructor for my dog that includes all of the base parameters for the animal and extends that to include the breed. So let's try running this now and see if our breed is being properly generated in our animal. And I have my animal Joseph, who's blue, and then I have a dog named Felix, who is a beagle, and everything looks great there. I'm going to go ahead and close this. Now, we needed some methods to override, so in our animal class, I'm going to go create a couple of methods. For our animals, I think I'm going to create a method that is speak, and we're going to include what the animal says. So this method is going to be virtual. That means that I'm going to allow other classes to override it. And I'm not going to return any values out of this. Oh, yes, I am. I'm going to return a string, and the string is going to be what the animal says. So I'm going to call this speak. And for an animal, I'm going to return, I guess I need curly braces. I'm going to return just a string from an animal. The animal says woo. How's that? Because we really don't know what kind of animal this is right now. And I'm going to go back to my form and generate output for that animal. So I'm going to say in my text box, I want to add my animal's speak method output. Let's run that. I think I need to add a little bit more there, don't I? I'm going to go ahead and put a space and maybe say the animal says, and then we'll output our speak method. So let's run that. Now I've got Joseph, my animal, who's blue, and he says, the animal says woo. And I don't like that. I'm going to go back to my speak method and make it just say woo, because we already said that we were going to put some information before that when we run it. So I just want him to say woo. Okay. And then we'll have our dog just go bark. So, hello, I am Joseph, blah, blah, blah. The animal says woo. And then we have our dog. All right. So now our animal is speaking. Let's make our dog speak. So I'm going to go to my dog class. And when I do add my speak method to my dog class, it's going to be an override. And it's a string, and I'm going to override the speak method. I've already overridden the other available string to me, the toString, so it defaults. And what do I want to return when my dog speaks? Let's say the dog says woof. And then in my form, I'm going to have my dog do some speaking. So what if I did my dog dot base? You can't do that. My dog speak. So let's see what kind of differences we get there. Well, I have to put it into the text box, don't I? Let me go back and do that. I just was so excited, I just called our method, and that's not going to do us any good. Let me copy all this. And I'll say the dog says. And of course we can interrogate our class to find out what type of class instance it is. That'll be something that we can use further on down the road. So here is our animal. He says woo. The dog says woof. Hello, I'm a dog. How did I get that in the wrong order? Let me fix that. I did. I outputted it before I outputted our dog info. So let's put our dog info up there first. It can be hard to type on a video. Okay, now let's run it. I should see my dog output first. There we go, that's better. Hello, I am a dog named Felix. My breed is a beagle, and the dog says woof. Alright, so in this video, we saw how we could extend our class by using the colon in the class definition to state the name of the class that we are going to use as our base. And we saw that we can build our constructors in such a way that we can pass all of the information to our child class, or we could use some information from the base class. We saw that when we set it to our default. We could also use the base keyword to get some information back if we did not override it in our subclass. So we have lots and lots of options. I'm going to leave this to you now. You should be able to extend your employee in the same way and override the methods that you need to override for that employee.